let me ask you, you went to school in Egypt till 13?
Till 9.
Till 9, okay. So you guys met at 13, but you guys left at 9.
Yeah, we left at 9, met at 13.
Okay. So when you went to school till 9, that means that's what, 3rd grade or 4th grade?
Yeah, 3rd grade.
3rd grade. And you went to public school, Muslim school,
Yeah.
not a private school.
Yeah.
Okay, what did they teach you? What did you learn? What were some of the values and principles they were teaching you going to school? Did they touch theology? Did they teach you about Muslim? Islam? Did they teach you about Muhammad? Did they teach you about Jews? Did they teach you about Christians? And what did they teach you when you were going to school?
So they do teach you the Quran, and that's why me and my family, we know a lot more about the Quran. Whether you're a Christian or not, they're going to teach you about the Quran. Not only that, you hear the call to prayer 5 times in a day. So 5 times a day, you hear the call to prayer playing out in every speaker. 5 times a day, morning, afternoon, noon, 5 times you hear Allahu Akbar. You hear that Allah is the one true God, Muhammad is prophet. Well, I was young, so I don't remember learning kind of, the Jews and the Christian stuff, but they were teaching the Quran. And that's the spirit of Egypt. There's fear among the Christians. The spirit, the aroma of being a Christian in Egypt among Muslims is you're scared for your life. There's no freedom. There's no, I can just go out in the street and preach. And this is the thing, Pat, about the double standards between Christians and Muslim countries versus Muslims and Christian countries. Muslims are able to come to Christian countries, migrate here, and they're able to open mosques. They're able to wear hijabs. They're able to promote halal food. They're able to pray in the street like New York City under Zohar Mamdani, pray in the street, thousands of them. They're able to pray the call to prayer in Michigan. They're able to do all of that. They're able to evangelize to Christians and convert Christians to Muslims, and we say nothing about it. But what would happen if a Christian goes to a Muslim country? This is a double standard. A Christian goes to a Muslim country. Can I, in a Muslim country, wear a cross around my neck and a Bible in my hand? If I walk around with this Bible in my hand in a Muslim country with a cross around my neck and preach the name of Jesus, I would be killed. I would be bashed in the street. And this is what we experienced. We saw the difference between how Christians treat Muslims versus how Muslims treat Christians by living in Egypt and then moving to Australia and seeing America. So there's a double standard, and it's they kill us, like Christians in Muslim countries get killed and beheaded. Muslims in Christian countries get welfare and paid.
What's the most vicious thing you saw as a kid growing up in Egypt?
I personally, my dad protected us from the visual side. He really took care of us. My dad was traveling preaching, so he actually wasn't as home as often. He was always preaching in different places. He would come home, after the sermon. My mom was really the one that raised us. And when they raised us, my mom tried to keep us kind of protected and sheltered from all the Islam stuff, from the threats we were getting. My dad was the opposite. My dad wanted us to know that we were getting death threats. So I remember one time when I was a kid, a Muslim guy left actually, before I share that story, in Egypt, when I was 1, I don't know what camera to look at, but when you're at the age of 1, you get a cross tattooed on your wrist. So at the age of 1, you get this cross tattooed on your wrist. I don't know if they can see that, but you get this cross tattooed on your wrist. You take your kid to the front of the church, you get it tattooed, the old school gun. And the reason we get this cross tattooed is the Muslims used to kidnap Christian kids, raise them up in Muslim families, and the kid growing up would never know that his parents are really Christian. So he would grow up and the Muslim parents raise him, and he would be like, yeah, that's my parents. So the Christian parents would tattoo us from a young age in case the Muslims kidnapped us.
Wow.
Just in case. What if my kid gets kidnapped at the age of 1? What if my kid gets kidnapped at the age of 2? What if he gets...
What a way to live.
Yeah.
Is that literally what they would do in Egypt?
All my family, my brothers, my sister, my dad, my mom, we have this cross on our wrist just in case I get kidnapped. This is the violent Allah, the demonic Prophet Muhammad that puts fear in the people of God that they can't live. And they come to our country and they're allowed to pray in the street. They come to my country and they're allowed to mock Jesus. They come to my country and they're allowed to pray in this. They come to my country and wear hijabs and open mosques, and I have to go get a tattoo in case I get kidnapped. And this is why we got it. And what they used to do, Pat, is even if they kidnapped you, even if they find a cross on your wrist, what they would do is they would burn it. They would burn it. They would just burn it off your wrist, and you would grow up and having a bunch of kids with burn marks on the wrist, and obviously you know that guy with a Christian. And the other thing, Pat, which is what you were saying, my dad didn't shelter us from these death threats. I remember a story one time, my dad, he's an amazing, bold man, and my mom was an amazing, courageous woman, but my dad got a death threat. There was a letter left in front of our doorstep, and the letter, when he opened it, it said something along the lines of, stop preaching about Jesus or we're going to kill your family. It was along these lines. I can't remember exactly. My dad opened the letter, and most parents would hide that from their kids. I was like maybe 6 or something. I can't remember. My dad gets all of us out in the living room, the whole family, my brothers, my sister. He gets us all out in the living room, and that note had a number on it. It had the Muslim guy's number that was threatening. My dad gets in the living room and he dials that number in. He calls the Muslim man that was threatening to kill the whole family, and he puts it on speaker in front of all of us. He puts it on speaker and he answers, and he says something along this line. Like from my memory, the spirit of the conversation was mockery. My dad called this Muslim guy and said, "Hey, you want me to stop preaching Jesus?" The Muslim guy's like, "Yeah, stop preaching Jesus." "Well, what are you going to do to me or my family?" "We're going to kill your family." And my dad starts laughing in the living room. My dad starts laughing at him, mocking him, saying, "You think I'm going to stop preaching Jesus because you're threatening me and my wife and my children?" And my dad's mocking him. And I'm like to my dad, "Please stop. Like, I don't want to die."
Who is your dad? I want to know who your dad is.
Zoom in.
Him.
That's him in the middle?
That's my dad. We can, yeah, he's.
Is there a video of your dad speaking?
He preaches in Arabic. I translate for him.
Yeah.
So his English is not too good. But when he preaches, he's a bold line. He doesn't need a microphone. He's a bold, and that's where we inherited our courage from my dad. We inherited our courage from him. We saw him preach in the face of death threats. We saw him preach, and we're like, let's go. Let's go.
What do you siblings do?
All of us are in ministry.
Everybody.
All of us. My brother Andrew Cedra and his wife Nolene, ministry. John and Rasma, ministry. Martina and Alex, ministry. Me and my wife, ministry. All of us have laid our life down for the sake of the gospel. We said, like Isaiah, "Here we are, Lord, send us." So we're all united. We're all speaking the truth about Islam, about the Bible, and that's my brothers.
They're
there,
not
zoom
twins,
in.
but
So
they
you
look
can
very
see,
similar.
you, my brother, we look like twins. John with the long hair. John was the long hair. He's the good-looking brother. Me and Andrew, we look like the Arabs.
Now, when you lived in Egypt,
Yeah.
remember the whole controversy with when they would say, if Palestinians are so peaceful, why doesn't Egypt, their neighbor, take it in that wall?
Yeah.
Have you been to that wall, the border wall?
I haven't.
So
I was too young.
Why doesn't Egypt welcome Palestinians in?
Egypt lately has been transforming their country because they want to invite more tourism in. So if you've noticed, Egypt just built like hundreds of millions of dollars they spent on a museum, and literally on their opener, in the inauguration of the museum, they put a sign on the top with a drone show saying the country of peace. They know that people don't want to go to Egypt because they know there's terrorism there. You can search up the museum. Search the new museum in Egypt. $1 billion project in Giza pyramids just launched in 2025. And really, they're trying to get more tourism in, and they know if they get the Gazans in, it's not gonna do too well. So they're trying to, I guess, I'm praying that Egypt softens its laws on Christianity, and I'm praying for God to save Egypt once again and for it to return to its former glory as a Christian country 1,400 years ago. Hey guys, Pastor Martin Cedra here. If you have any questions about Jesus, Christianity, Islam, or maybe you just want to know a little bit more about Muhammad versus Jesus, I'm here for you. If you need anything, if you need a church, we're planting a church all across America, so reach out to me through Minect.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.